Hey, it's Around here. In this training, I'm going to share with you some questions and answers that I've received relating to the training that I did on starting a expert Q&A membership. Let me share my screen, show you the questions, and take them up one by one. The first question is, I have a strong fear around people using this service too much. How do you limit it? Do you set a limit per person, per month, give credits, or just trust nobody will ask too many questions? This is the top reason that's been holding you back from launching this membership. So, this is a really relevant question. So, I can tell you statistically, when I did the membership, when I first launched it, I had over 100 members. From those 100 members, I had an average of 2 to 3 questions per day. Sometimes the questions were a lot, as many as 7 or 8 questions per day. Sometimes I'll get nothing for 2 days. So it kind of averaged it out to 2 to 3 a day on average. Now I have that metric because at the time I was actually using a support ticketing system. So I actually had the numbers of how many questions I received, how many are answered, and it was all tracked by metrics. Later, as I evolved the membership, I stopped using that software. Now I'm using it again. So I don't have tracking for that particular aspect over an extended period of time. But I can tell you that for the first year, that was approximately the number 100 members, 2 to 3 questions per day. Typically, I have never had an issue with people abusing the membership. And even if somebody asks too many questions, so what? For that person, it's going to be helpful. For other people, sometimes they just care about having the option to contact you. I have people in my tech support membership who they just want to keep it because primarily they want to be able to have a peace of mind. They can come for questions and advice from somebody that they trust. So, therefore, you can really kind of balance it out. And at the end of the day, you're getting content out of it anyway, so no big deal. There is also an aspect that I didn't do an annual sign up when I first started. I only did month to month. And this was done at the time for this exact fear because I decided at the time that let's just say somebody abuses this too much and I feel that they're not taking this membership in a reasonable fashion, then I could just cut them off and cancel a membership and say, look, I've been grateful to serve you and I'm going to, discontinue serving you because of XYZ. I've just never had that particular issue with anybody that this happened with. There was pretty much, I think, one time that I legitimately kicked somebody out of my membership because they were plain rude to my team, my support team. I had it on Zoom. I saw the recording. The person was completely out of place, like really not cool. And I will protect my team ahead of somebody paying me $50 a month. So I kicked him out and I said, look, not wanting to serve you. And that was that. I refunded the money and that was it. No hard feelings, but I will not serve you. So this is one out of hundreds of members. So it is so rare. I just would not have that fear. And if you are worried about it, just do a month to month. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you're creating content, you're building relationships, and it's a win-win. So that's the answer to that question. The second question is, I have around the 24-hour promise. Did you also do it during weekdays and holidays? Do you think having some boundaries around there, for example, doing only working days? So in my case, I was a single dude, living on my own, doing my thing. So I worked all the time, didn't bother me the 24 hours. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you've got family, you got a spouse, you got responsibilities, you got a 9 to 5 job, things along these lines, you absolutely want to set boundaries. And as long as you manage expectations, people are not going to have any problem whatsoever. You can even say they'll get an answer within 24 hours, minus on working days or weekdays, or not including Sunday because you go to church, or maybe it's family day or whatever. And you could just be very clear about when you would answer. You can also say that you are going to answer everybody's questions on X amount of hour, let's say 7 to 8 p.m. on 5 days per week, and you will take care of everybody's questions before you go to bed or whatever the thing is. So you can absolutely set boundaries. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as you manage expectations, it's not a problem at all. And also, when you're doing a founding member launch, just be transparent about it. Say, look, we're going to start it out. I aim to take care of questions at this time to this time. If I need to spend more time or less or more or whatever, things may evolve. So please understand that this is a new membership, and please be flexible with me, but I aim to answer within 24 hours. So you can give them whatever promise you want to give them within reason. As long as you manage expectations, people never, ever, ever have a problem. I have things that go wrong with my team occasionally because that's the nature of being a service provider. Not everything is a smooth sailing. But what I've found is high communication, managing expectations is vital piece to good customer support, customer service, and stuff like that. So absolutely set boundaries. You don't have to kill yourself over answering people's questions in an X amount of time. You just have to decide how to make it suit to your lifestyle. So hope that helps. And you don't put a limit of how many questions or credits. All that's just making things more complicated. Make it simple for them, make it simple for you. People are generally good people. Give them a good service and build a relationship. So that's my advice on this particular question. The next question is, what's the benefit for you to do it through email versus in an open community or forum where everyone sees the conversation? So this is a big debate because a lot of time people start a membership to get some sort of support and build a community and stuff like that. In my case, and this is relevant to my niche specifically, my primary philosophy, my primary core values is very much on eliminating shiny object, on eliminating distractions, on staying focused, on staying consistent, and things like that. And when I build at the time in my mind, when I was building a community like that, if I was starting a Facebook group, I don't want people to start giving each other advice. That's just not the point. Because I'm in the tech space. If somebody is confused about tech and they raise a bunch of confusion, and then someone else who's overwhelmed with tech already has their own confusions, and then they start feeding off each other's confusions, I don't need that. That's just a headache. So it depends on the niche as to whether or not you would do that. In my case, it just didn't make any sense. I'm answering a tech question to one person. I don't need someone who's a bit further behind or a bit further ahead to be confused by that question because that's not where they're at. I'll give you a classic example. Let's say somebody comes to my world and they're like, Eran, so I want to know, how do I set up a cart abandonment email sequence and set up the automations with the tags? That is one question, which is a little bit more advanced. If somebody comes in and they don't know what a domain name is yet, well, they're going to be like, oh, do I need a cart abandonment email sequence? And then you see all it's going to do is going to create more and more confusion. So I really prefer to not worry about community at first and focus exclusively on just answering the individuals. It's just a great way to do it. And of course, there's no rules on it. You can test and decide how you want it. But that was my considerations on why I did it in the fashion that I did and use it to creating content versus building a community. In contrast, at the moment, for example, I have my DCT.com Truths VIPs, and I do run a Facebook group at the moment. And this is the first time I'm doing a Facebook group for my members. So I'm doing it for the next 5 months. And this is an experiment. So far, it's been good and it's been valuable. And what I do is I tag the members that ask me the questions so they have the answers below. I have transcripts, things like that. It's a little bit more advanced. But I feel that I'm at the stage now where I have enough members, enough experience, enough systems, enough VAs, enough support, enough members to be able to experiment and see how to evolve, basically. But when you're just getting started, I would say keep it as simple as possible. So hope that helps. And thank you so much for your questions. Really great questions. I appreciate it. The next questions I'm going to answer, you're going to notice something which proves my point on why an expert Q&A membership is a freaking brilliant idea. This email that I received is from a completely different person, and I want to read out the questions they sent me. They said, number one, so you don't have a group for members? Is there a membership site to host anything? Question one. Question two, when someone emails a question and you respond, do other members also get the reply? Question mark. Question three, is there a limit to how many questions a member can ask in a month, so you don't get a member asking questions every day or 3 times weekly? I want you to pay attention here. I got 2 different emails, 2 completely different people asking basically the exact same questions. So this is the proof of how powerful it is to actually create this content bank to answer people's questions this way. Because if one person has it, someone else will have it. And if you think about your niche and how many people are in the world and how big is your market, the chances are there is probably hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people with the same questions. So let me just answer those 3 questions and give you a quick recap. So number 1, so you don't have group for members. Is there a membership site to host anything? So when I first launched, no, there was no membership site to host anything per se. I did say that they will be, and part of the pitch that I did at the time, I said that when they become founding members, that whenever I create digital courses or digital assets or templates or anything along these lines in the future, they will get access to it. So that was the benefit of being a founding member. They get the Q&A, and when I release courses and digitize things, they will get access to it as well. So in the beginning, there wasn't a membership site. Pretty much quickly after, I did develop a membership site, which I started to create digital courses based on things that have continued to come up. And I've since developed, I've got 15 or so different courses: landing page in a day, email sequence in a day, lead magnet in a day, Facebook organic mini course, YouTube SEO, how to rank on page 1, hiring and managing virtual assistants, email thank you page in a day. I think I said that. Anyway, there's a bunch of others. So I've got a bunch of courses basically along these lines. And all of that is available, and it's all in the membership, and it's all included. So now there is. But at the beginning, there wasn't. But they were promised that they will receive the courses included. The second point of this same question, don't have a group for members. In the beginning, I did not. And that was not the case for a long time. And I've only started a Facebook group for members only about a month or 2 ago. And this is 3 years into it. And this is an experiment for the next 5 months that I'm actually doing. Besides that, no, I'm actually never had a Facebook group per se. The community was always on Zoom, and that's pretty much it. So there was no group. I do send member-only emails as well, so people know when they receive an email from me, then the subject line is very specific. It says DCT on the subject line, kind of in brackets like this, and that's pretty much how they know that it's members-only email. But again, there was no exclusive group. I did try to have a group outside of Facebook for a very short period of time, probably a month or 2, using Heartbeat, and I did not find the engagement to be very good, and I just didn't bother with it. It just didn't see it to add any value. It was just another tool people to learn. So now I've got it on Facebook. I've had the experiment going for about a month, and so far so good. But I repeat, when you're getting started, I really don't think that's important, and for me it wasn't important. But also, like I said before, in my case, I'm in the tech space. I don't want people to get confused and overwhelmed with tech challenges and overwhelm. So for me, it was better to not have a community, basically. Second point, when someone sends an email, a question, and you respond, do the other members also get the reply? The answer is no. I did not give them the reply. I would just upload it to my YouTube channel, and that's pretty much it. So I still don't share the replies per se. Now, when I have a Facebook community, what I do is once per day, I hop on a Zoom call, not a Zoom call, I go on Facebook Live, and I answer all the questions I received for the day, and then I tag everybody that got an answer, and then I have a VA that gets the video also to Searchy to get a transcript, chapters, and all that good stuff, so people can refer back to any questions that were already asked in the past. But again, this is evolution. This is so important to understand. I'm 3+ years into this. So evolution allows me to add new software, hire VAs, and all this good stuff, add more automations, more systems. In the beginning, don't worry about any of it. It's literally question, recording, answer to the customer, and send it to the member. That's it. And upload it to YouTube. That's it. Is there a limit to how many questions our member can ask per month? Nope, there is no limit. I've never put a limit. I just said unlimited, and you get an answer in under 24 hours. I've never had anybody abuse it, and it's been no problem at all. And also, there was one other point I will mention on it. I have had situations where somebody is in the middle of a launch, for example, and they would ask a question every day for a whole week, maybe 2 to 3 times a day, but they're in the middle of a launch. Then I won't hear from them for 2-3 months. and that's okay. You know what I mean? They knew they got served, and that's totally fine. I very rarely had somebody join and, let's say, be in the middle of a launch, ask us a bunch of questions, and then leave. Even if they did, so be it. No big deal. So I never put in the limit. I never found a reason to limit it. But it doesn't mean that you can't make a decision to cancel and terminate somebody's membership. So hope that helps. Thanks for your wonderful questions. And notice the similarity between the first person and the second question, the second person. It's been just a few hours since the presentation went live, and these are the immediate two emails that I received with questions. So I wanted to record this video just to demonstrate the process, because this can now go on my YouTube channel and be able to be shared with other people who may have had the same question. So when somebody emails me next, if they have a similar question, I will say, great question. Here's the link. I've already answered it here. Now, as part of this video also, this is at a bit of an evolution. I actually give this video to a virtual assistant who actually creates chapters. And there is other hacks on how you can get that done in a way more efficient way now with AI and things like that. It doesn't even require a virtual assistant if you don't have the budget for it. So all of that is something that I can cover in a different time, a different training and stuff like that. But for now, I wanted to answer those immediate questions. And if you have additional questions for me, I would love to hear from you. If you don't know what I'm referring to in terms of what this presentation was in the first place, this is a presentation I did in an event called Low Ticket Live. And in the description and also pinned in the comment section, I'm going to leave the link for you to see how you are able to watch this presentation as well if you wanted to watch it. It's a 20 minutes presentation where I teach people how to start an expert Q&A membership and start making money on a recurring revenue basis by doing a very simple strategy that helps you eliminate having to create content in the hopes of finding customers, and also to help you break even on your business expenses up front so you can fund your initial startup of your business without doing it out of pocket. So all of that's going to be covered in that particular training. If you haven't seen it already, you're welcome to check it out. It will be linked in the description. And also it'll be linked in the comment pinned. That's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate you. Speak to you soon. Cheers.